Welcome class. Today we will discuss the hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is work as transporter of oxygen in the body of human beings. And in this topic today we will discuss how the hemoglobin is very important for the transport of oxygen, what type of the structure hemoglobin contain, and the kinetics bit, how the some bit about the Hill equation, that is how the hemoglobin is very important, and it is more effective compared to the myoglobin for the transport of oxygen. So hemoglobin is basically a heterotetramer. Means by that it is containing the four polypeptide chains, and these four polypeptide chain, each chain containing the heme. Okay, means by that in each protein there is a prosynthetic group that is known as heme, and each heme is capable for binding with the oxygen. So since it is containing the four such type of the heme group, so one of the hemoglobin is capable for transporting the 4 oxygen. Okay, so hemoglobin transport oxygen from lungs, gills, or skin of animal to the capillary. Okay, where the capillaries, where we need the respiration for oxidative degradation of food, for the energy production, and whatsoever the rest of the oxidative processes which is going inside the body, for all we require the oxygen. So this is basic the structure of heme. So heme is a prosynthetic group. Prosynthetic group means by that it is covalently bonded to the polypeptide chain. Okay, so coenzyme is the part which is just held by some sort of interactive forces, but prosynthetic group is the group which is directly linked to the polypeptide chain, and it is a covalently bonded, and we cannot isolate it by just by simple extraction or simple isolation is not possible, and it is strongly bonded to the that of the polypeptide chain. And this group is very important, because if we isolate this group, that hemoglobin, its all activity is going to be lost. Only this group is responsible for the activity of hemoglobin. Okay, we come to the structure again after discussing about it in detail about the structure. So this is the this is hemoglobin containing ferropyrophorin 9. Okay, so this is basically what is this containing, which is containing the pyrrole rings. Okay, and each that is pyrrole ring nitrogen is bonded to iron, and two of these bond are covalently bonded. Okay, not all are the coordinate bond, two are covalent bond and two are the coordinate bond. Okay, but still all the bonds are equal. Means by that they are not different, they are almost equal bond, whether it is covalent bond or the coordinate bond. And see here A, P, C and D. Okay, the nitrogen there is a bond between the nitrogen oxygen. This nitrogen belongs to the pyrrole ring. Okay, A, B, C, D represent the pyrrole ring, which is joined to the methylene. Okay, there is a double bond and CH2 group. This is called the methylene bond, through which this rings are attached to each other, and centrally these two bond is here is covalent bond, and two bond is a here is that is the ligand coordinate bond. Okay, so here we have, so this is porphyrin derivative. Means by that this whole structure for pyrrole ring joined through the methylene group, that is called the porphyrin, and one of the that is ferroproto porphyrin 9 is the basic structure of that of the heme. So full pyrrole ring joined by the methylene bridge. Okay, so what we have here, we see that one of the side there is a oxygen is attached to another side, there is a histidine ring which is attached to here. So this histidine, okay, here we see, so one side we see that iron is attached to the oxygen. Okay, this is O2 molecule. Another side we see that it is attached to the, and this is the imidazole ring which is belong to the histidine. Okay, so this is basically the, that is our polypeptide chain. Okay, this is part is basically the polypeptide. Okay, so this part is polypeptide, and this is all about the ring of the protopyrrole ring of the heme. Okay, so iron is in the oxygen is sorry, the iron in the oxidation state of iron is 2 positive in this case. But what happen, So there is a possibility, but we see that in the case of iron, that is exist in 3 positive state. In the case of the methemoglobin, okay, or hemoglobin, we call the, or that is the metomyoglobin, means iron is now it is in oxidized form. So when it is happen, when iron is already that is octahedral coordinated with the H2O. Sorry, here it is missing, but it is water molecule. Okay, so what happened in the situation, we having the iron in 3 positive, and this iron in 3 positive is responsible for the brown color of the old meat. Okay, generally we see that when the blood droplet is get dried, it is converted to dark brown color. So this is basically iron is now oxidized to 3 positive state. Now next is that how the sometimes you see that the carbon monoxide become toxic and lead to the deficiency of the oxygen, and it is become fatal. Sometimes the person get died because of the that scarcity of oxygen in the body. This is because of the reason that this molecules like Cu, NO, cyanide and H2S having very high affinity for the that He2 positive, and if there is they present, it does not allow to bind the oxygen to them, and they get bind to the hemoglobin, and then alter the transport of the oxygen, and the body get having the insufficient supply of oxygen, and ultimately they become very highly toxic. Okay, so here we have this basically the comparison between the myoglobin and hemoglobin. If we closely see these two curves here, we have the fraction of the O2 bonded the fraction of the O2 bonded with the either myoglobin or hemoglobin, and the PO2 represent the pressure of O2. So what we see in both these cases, the myoglobin follows the hyperbolic curve, and the hemoglobin here is following the sigmoidal curve, and the capacity of that hemoglobin to bind with the oxygen is very high compared to the myoglobin. This is the reason why the myoglobin cannot work as the that of the what we call then the transferring media for the oxygen. So what happened in the case of hemoglobin having very high tendency for oxygen at high pressure. So in the case of lungs, we have a very high pressure, so it is combined with the oxygen whenever because it having the affinity for the oxygen at high pressure, so it is going to be combined, and as it is moved to the capillary, okay, to the other part of the body where it has to be deload the oxygen because there is a pressure is low, because hemoglobin having the high tendency at high, so when the pressure become low, it lose oxygen there. Here the role of the myoglobin takes place, because myoglobin having for having the tendency to bind with the oxygen at low pressure, so it get that is yeah, it is attached to the oxygen, and it is work as a storage media for the oxygen. Okay, so at the low pressure, myoglobin having the tendency to bind with the oxygen, but at high pressure, that is the hemoglobin which having the tendency to bind with the oxygen. So that is why the hemoglobin work as a very good efficient media for the transport of oxygen throughout the body. So here we have the discussion about this previous graph. The O2 curve is a hyperbolic, but the hemoglobin curve is sigmoidal shape. Okay, so what we see from this dissociation curve, because generally what we in the case of biological system, it does not go for the association constant or association curve. We generally discuss about the dissociation. Okay, so it is just similar to that of the association, because if it is easily dissociate, that means its association is difficult, but if it is difficult to dissociate, means its association is very good. Okay, so what happened in the case of, so it permits the blood to deliver much more oxygen. We're gonna discuss through Hill equation this is very effectively, because this is very important, because one of the oxygen having tendency to transport the oxygen for, because it having the 4 hemi group. Beside this, what happen when the first oxygen attached to the hemoglobin, its tendency to attach to the second oxygen is become increase. So this is called the cooperative effect. Means by that, once first ligand is attached, it increase its potential to join with the another one. So this is in the case of hemoglobin. So that is why its curve is sigmoidal in shape. Okay, so here we have the Hill equation. This is very important equation to understand the about the transport of oxygen, of how hemoglobin works. So if we suppose that we here we are just representing the S is the substrate. Again we have that E is the enzyme, so because it is hemoglobin in this case, it is attaching to the substrates S the oxygen. Okay, so N represent the how many oxygen. Okay, so what we have here, it is going to be form a complex ES obviously, and this K is equilibrium constant, we are very familiar with here. So now just reverse of that is called the dissociation constant, which so we have to represent the that reactant above and the product dividing by that. Okay, because just reverse is the equilibrium constant where it is resolved, so we have to represent the dissociation constant. So the reactant has to be in the upper side and the product has to be downside, and rearranging this equation, okay, putting this value and finding out the last comes out to be Ys. This is Hill equation. Okay, so this is very important. Ys is equal to concentration of, that is here as it, we generally call it oxygen. Okay, so Ys comes out to be that concentration of S raised to the power n, K plus concentration of S raised to the power n. Okay, so this is very important equation. Okay, so what happened, so what we have here, this is called the Hill constant. Okay, increase with the degree of cooperativity of a reaction, means by that how one of the ligand going to be attached. Okay, then how it is going to be promote or dispromote or even unaffected. Okay, that kind of the property is going to be represent. So what happened, if n is equal to 1, means by that we having a hyperbolic curve. In the case of myelin, previously we discussed that it having hyperbolic curve means, okay, so what happened in there is no cooperativity, means by that once the ligand is attached, it does not affecting the binding of another ligand. Okay, it remain as such. But if n is greater than 1, now in the case of hemoglobin it is 2.8, lump sum equal to 3. Okay, so what happened in the case of hemoglobin, once one oxygen is attached, it promotes the second ligand of oxygen to attach with the hemoglobin. Okay, so one of the subunit attached to the oxygen, it promoting the another subunit to attach with the oxygen, and continues the 100 time having the fourth, when the fourth oxygen going to be attached, the hemoglobin having 100 times affinity more compared to the first oxygen for the oxygen. Okay, so this is called the positive cooperativity. Now third is the negative, when n is less than 1. So this is the case when we have negative, means by that once the first ligand is attached, it is does not allow to introduce this affinity for the incoming ligand to attach. Okay, so here we discuss how the hemoglobin is different from the myoglobin. Hemoglobin follows the sigmoidal curve, where in the case of myoglobin we do not have the cooperative effect, but in the case of hemoglobin it having the cooperative effect. Hemoglobin going to be white with oxygen at higher pressure, like in the case of that of the lungs, and in the case of myoglobin it going to be bind with at low pressure, and it work as the storage media for the oxygen. This is all about the hemoglobin, and we will continue this discussion further. Okay, thank you so much.